Hello, this is GitMaker with Forkits. Today I'm going to demonstrate some of the inner workings of the game and the editor to show you how to set up a player character who can run and jump and stuff. So as I mentioned in another video, there is no default behavior for the player character. It's just one particular event with certain properties. So now the idea behind this game was to basically vary RPG Maker to make it optimized for platforming games, as some people have tried to twist RPG Maker into being a platformer with variable success. So these phases here are meant to correspond to event pages in RPG Maker, and each phase can have a variety of properties, and program is where most of the special stuff happens. The first thing that happens is camera focus. This instructs the engine to scroll around the scene in response to this event's position. It will keep the event in the middle of the screen whenever possible. And then we have a number of run program commands. This is a limited form of method calling. Each of these subprograms is defined separately. So direction handles taking player input in terms of whether they're pressing left or right. And input is read through an ordinary conditional branch. Right there. And the way it's set up here, if the player is pressing both directions, it cancels out to 0. And down here is a spot where a force is applied based on which direction the player is pressing. So if you want, you can always move events position directly, but there's a whole physics simulator set up, so why not use it? Applying a force will also automatically make the character smoothly accelerate and also stop short if you hit a wall. So jumping is similar and quite easy to implement. So there are a few checks in place here. First of all, object has ground. That basically asks, is the object at rest or sliding on a ground surface? And if it is, then it just checks that we're pressing the spacebar, and boom! All we do is apply another force, and once again, the physics simulator takes care of everything else. And in case you're wondering, that value jump force is defined right there. So the last part of this program takes up a lot of vertical space, but it's where we affect any changes to the event's appearance based on the most recently input direction and some other details. A string variable is assembled representing what animation should be displayed, and the character's appearance is changed if necessary. So now, at the risk of this video getting rather long, I'll demonstrate how First is able to interact with the sheep. Sheep. So every physical event has a collision box, a hitbox, which is used to collide with terrain. But in addition to that hitbox, you can also define as many other hitboxes as you want. The physical hitbox and all these arbitrary ones can all send and receive signals. So this one runs along the top of the sheep, according to these coordinates here. If you touch it, the sheep sends the jumped on signal to itself, which activates the indicated method, and that makes it explode and go away. But if you touch it on any other side, it sends a signal out to you. And as you see here, the player character is sensitive to that signal, and that's what makes him flinch. Okay, so that's enough for one day. Remember, if you're watching this right off of YouTube, please find the link to the project page in the description, and have a happy Canada Day. Except you, Jake, you're not Canadian.